All right. It is the Lions segment, and it is the most exciting Lions segment we've had since the start of this podcast. I'm going to hit him with some air horns. Too.
Hell yeah, brother. Yeah.
Hell yeah. The boys are back, and we lost a heartbreaker.
Well, this was my main takeaway from them.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown them.
Yeah.
But they are who we thought they were.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just want to say off the top, being back at Ford Field, pre-gaming a little bit, having some beers, a little hungover, great fucking time. I had an absolute blast. It was so good to be back. I even recognized some of the staff there that like is in our section and stuff, and like it was good to see them, and like they were happy for people to be back, and like just being like your seats now are right behind our seats, which is so dope. I totally forgot about that you guys switched over to our section.
Oh, dream team.
Yeah, baby. It's so fun. I had a great time.
It is.
All that being said, lots of takeaways from this game.
So many.
I got a couple.
Let's just break it out. Start from the top.
All right. Well, first things first, the most important thing probably is Jared Goff. So let's talk about it. To be honest, his first drive, it was a 3-and-out. Not super impressive. Lots of, similarly to New England, saw lots of deke and dunk kind of throws that he was making. He had a couple nice throws in his second drive. They moved the ball down the field and got
first
field
drive.
Goal.
Let's start out first drive.
Okay.
Let's go play by play. First drive was a 3-and-out. First play, right out the gate. Let's pick up some yards through the air. They drop back. He does a classic 3-step drop. Tries to hit the tight end on a cute little button hook.
Hawk did not play.
It was Darren Fells. And the ball was almost picked off. It was very close.
Darren Fells saying,
yes. So that was not good. Second play, the run game got blown up. Jamal Williams carried for no yards. Third play, Jared Goff gets sacked. Penei Sewell and Vaitai. Honestly, I wish that they would either switch Penei, probably not Penei because they got Taylor Decker on the other side. Mm-hmm. I wish they would switch Jonah Jackson, Vaitai. Because Jonah Jackson's a much stronger guard.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've kind of been on the poo-pooing on Vaitai train for a while. I don't think he's very good.
No.
He's the weak link in this offensive line.
He is.
For sure.
That's why I don't think that they should pair him with Penei on the right side.
Well, Penei, by the end of the year, he should be the best lineman like on the team.
But
I would think.
Until then, I wish that they would aid him.
Well, okay.
Let him get his feet set and pair him with the better guard so that our both sides are good. Not one side is very good. The other side is Penei and this weak link.
Rather than them build a rapport throughout the preseason and season?
Could be.
I mean, I don't know. Because you got a situation where Vaitai by week 4 or 5 isn't even playing on that offensive line. They put someone else in.
You could have Tyrell Crosby in.
The run game was not great.
Was not good. Jamal Williams finished with 9 carries for 15 yards with a long of 5 yards.
Yeah, he looked.
The run game did not look good at all.
Not a lot of holes for him to move through, which is a big problem.
It was not on Jamal Williams at all. The guy had no space to get going. I don't know. It really. I was rewatching the first half this morning. It really looks like every time that we ran a run play, they knew it and they loaded the box. I don't know if that is like presets and like the way that we're lining up or what. I feel like it's the same thing as last year where like it just was so obvious when we were going to run it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They got to figure that out.
Well, I think a lot of that is because of, we kind of talked about in our preseason preview show where it's like, the Bills are a team that's been together for a while now. And even their backup players are probably pretty well adjusted to that, that scheme. Okay. And this is the first time we're seeing the Lions in this system. A lot of these players are brand new players and everything looked just kind of vanilla and like flat for the most part. I think it got a little spicier as the game went along, but like, yeah, man, I mean, of course they're going to know when they're running or when they're going to, the key is that they need to make those adjustments, which Patricia would never do. He would never adjust the game plan. Whereas we got to hope that Dan Campbell,
Anthony Lynn
will anticipate that and change on the fly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to buy the kneecap off.
So second drive. So then the defense goes out there. They started, I think, Aleem McNeil at defensive tackle, Flowers and Akora on the edges. They had Jamie Collins, Alexander Alonso, I think his name is, at the linebackers. Okuda and Awarmiye on the outsides with Mike Ford at the nickel, Tracy Walker and Will Harris at the safeties.
Yeah, I just want to say something really quick. I think with this roster, the defense had some familiar names from last season for sure. There are some players I recognized, but
a lot of players.
But that offense, man, it's like pretty much completely overhauled. Like as far as the skill positions go,
100%.
I didn't because Hawk and Swift didn't play.
Yeah,
but like
every single other person out there except for the offensive line,
all just like brand new players that like we were there with their family. And they're like, who is that? What? Who's this? Like it was kind of weird.
So the defense goes out. And again, not a great start. Yeah. They got the stop and held them to 3, but they gave up 20 yards on the first play with a running play. Couldn't stop the run. They got lucky and got a holding call, but the very next play they gave up 18 yards on a run.
Yeah.
So
Buffalo ran the ball pretty well the whole game.
You know what's surprising is I think that they finished with So they finished with 29 carries for 114 yards, which ended up being about a 4-yard carry average, which actually is pretty good. But we ended up with 26 for 107, and we'll jump into him later. But that was mainly thanks to Craig Reynolds.
Yeah.
The trash man.
The newest
Detroit
Lion.
Yes, that's his nickname now. Because every time this announcer would say Craig Reynolds, it sounded exactly like Frank Reynolds.
Yeah.
If you watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you get it. His new nickname is the Trash Man.
Okay, so we're making that a thing.
That's a thing.
Okay.
Craig Reynolds is the Trash Man. The second drive,
we'll have to get a drop of Frank screaming,
"I'm the Trash Man!" Yes. Yeah. The second drive for the offense looked a lot better. Goff kind of settled in. He made some nice throws.
Yeah,
he really did.
The second drive, he looked a lot better, and he looked like he made some really accurate throws. Like
that's
he put
what
it
I'm
in.
saying. He put it. They were dots.
Yeah.
They were right on target. One to Darren Fells, which was right in the perfect window. It was a great catch. Amon Ross St. Brown showed up.
He was. I even have a soundbite of me recording it, but being at the game, he absolutely looked like wide receiver 1. He's going to live in the slot. Yeah,
but
that's perfect for Goff. I mean, that's the kind of throws he makes.
Yes, so exactly. He looks like a player that can catch the ball maybe 3 or 4 yards past the line of scrimmage and then go pick up 15 more.
Which I'm super happy about that because I definitely like coming into this game. He was my most anticipated player to watch and just see what he would do, probably outside of Goff. But I was like really excited about him, and he did not disappoint. He had quite a few catches, and
his stock went way up
for sure.
100%.
Absolutely.
He only finished with 2 catches for 12 yards. One catch he had was for 12 yards. But he got called back on a holding penalty. The Lions ended up driving all the way down to probably about the Buffalo Bills 10, 15-yard line, ended up having to kick a field goal. On the third down play, Goff had a great ball to the end zone. I'll give the Bills player props. It looks like passing interference at first, but he ended up making a great play on the ball. Knocked it away from Tyrell Williams. That's who number 6 is, right?
Yeah, Tyrell.
Okay.
Who, by the way, was not super impressive in my estimation.
He had a good catch, good route. Goff hit him perfectly.
Like we were just talking about St. Brown. I mean, he like was an immediate impact player, and I didn't see a lot in that kind of like same realm for Tyrell Williams. He just didn't. I don't know. He didn't resonate with me very much, and he's supposed to be wide receiver 1 on the depth chart. He's supposed to be the leading man. It's like I don't know.
Yeah. My biggest issue with that drive was they took up 10 minutes and only got 3 points. If you're going to have a 10-minute drive, you need to put 7 on the board.
Shout out to Judd because he called that exactly on the dot. He was like, first 2 drives will be a 3 and out and field goal. And I'm like, I've had 4 or 5 beers. I'm like, shut up, man. You don't know. And then that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, I think Trubisky might have had 2 drives.
He was not in for long.
He went 1 for 2 for 10 yards.
we were all worried that he was going to be the Lion Killer and come in here and like
I was.
They won, but
very worried. And then this other guy, Davis Webb.
Yeah, so he's been a backup for a couple teams at this point, and I think most notably he was on the Panthers for a little bit. But he looked pretty good. He was running around and like being really mobile and making a lot of plays. Like he was more impressive than what we saw at Trubisky for the little sample size we had, I guess.
I wish I had a sound drop here that just said who, because I had no idea who this guy was. But
that's come on.
It made me nervous for quarterbacks that can scramble against us.
Yeah, well, I got like visions of like, what if we were playing a Taysom Hill or a Lamar Jackson kind of quarterback?
Well, we do play Lamar Jackson this year.
Oh, yeah, and,
I do not see that going well. Webb only had 2 carries, but they were for 26 yards, so not good there. He went,
but he was scrambling in the pocket and extending the play,
extending plays like they couldn't get to him. He went 11 for 16, 90 yards and a touchdown. So not good there.
Better than Tim Boyle.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said not good there. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what you're saying.
On the other side of the ball, yes, Tim Boyle came in. We started a movement. Tim Boyle, bro. Get this guy out of here.
I don't know if like 2 retweets and a couple favorites is starting a movement, but
it's a small movement, but we're growing.
Yeah. I think the Trash Man is a more promising movement in my book. But
yeah. Tim Boyle finished 8 for 15. Guess how many yards he had?
8 for 15. I'm going to guess he finished for about 40-something yards.
38.
Yeah.
Oh, good guess.
I was watching the game, so it was off the top of my head.
He stunk. Don't want to see him anymore. Put David Blau in.
Well,
David Blau is so much better than this guy.
I mean, I don't know if he's like leagues above him, but he's like he's better, you know.
David Blau had double his yardage with 9 less attempts.
Wow. Well, he's got to be living his best life right now. He's fired up, living his best life right now. He's got to go win that second string job. I don't think it was like a necessarily like shoe in like, oh, he's definitely gonna be the second string. Like this is a competition for that spot.
Yeah,
between them, and I
think David Blau should get it.
As of last night, yeah, I would agree for sure. But
5 or 6, he put the bread in a basket for one of his wide receivers. I don't know who made the catch. It was a great throw, though, and lined him up for the go-ahead field goal at the time. So, yeah, that was the report on the quarterbacks. Jake Fromm came in for Buffalo at the end there. Yep. 8 for 13, 65 yards. I'll get into the 4th and 10 play in a second. But let's move on to our running backs. We mentioned that Jamal Williams finished 9 for 15. Not a great showing, but again, not his fault. Would have loved to see a little bit more out of Jamar Jefferson.
Yeah, he didn't really do too much notable in my book. I mean,
he went 4 for 7.
Yeah, I was definitely more impressed with the Trash Man than either of the 2 starting backs that we saw.
And then we also had this Dedrick Mills, who is out of Nebraska. I don't know if
I think he was a draft pick from last year.
Couldn't tell you where this guy came from. He might be a free agent rookie. Who knows? He went 5 for 32, had a 20-yard run. I don't even remember seeing him, to be completely honest. He might have played in the third quarter while we were sitting drinking in a bar within Ford Field.
Yeah, we caught most of the third quarter inside of on the TVs at one of the bars inside Ford Field. So
yeah, and then sorry,
Hear me.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
Nice. Hey, shout out to Wynn Sportsbook. I didn't even know if they existed.
Yeah,
but they're all over the building now, and we'd love to team up for a sponsorship opportunity.
Yes,
if
absolutely.
You're feeling it, just we'll pump it up. Like I didn't know it was a thing, but now that I do, I'd be happy to pump it up as long as we can get some free credits and stuff. Hit us up, gridironzeros@gmail.com.
Win bets cross Gridiron Zeros podcast collab. So, Craig Reynolds, this is the feel-good story of the day. He literally introduces himself in the huddle to the other Lions players.
Which is hilarious.
Hilarious. I think that they signed him on Thursday, so he did not have a whole lot of practice time. And he comes in, he goes 6 carries for 49 yards, including a 24-yard touchdown.
Yeah, it was hype.
It was fantastic. It was awesome to see. I think that he quite possibly solidified himself on the team, which is awesome if he did.
Well, the thing about that I'm actually really enjoying about this Lions team right now that we haven't had in a long time is that I feel like literally anyone can play. It's just make yourself make a play and make us want to have you on the roster. Like it's an open competition at every spot. I feel like that's really refreshing, and like that's something I haven't really seen as a Lions fan and that I can remember.
Absolutely. So I think there are 4 spots for running backs on the team. I think that obviously 2 are going to be filled up with Swift and Jamal Williams.
Yep.
I do think that Jamar Jefferson's going to lock in that 3rd string. And I think that Craig Reynolds made a good case for the 4th string last night.
Okay. I mean, he played better than Jamar Jefferson.
Another Lions player that I think might have solidified himself for the roster, Tom Kennedy. Who the hell is this guy? I've never heard of this guy in my life. And he comes out yesterday and he made some great routes, made some great catches. He finished 4 for 46 leading the team. He had 6 targets, so he pulls in 66% of his targets. Good. Yeah, long of 29. He looked great.
Yeah.
Very exciting there. It sounds like we got, a depth in wide receiver. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Well, here. I mean, depth, but not like we don't have a Kenny Golladay anymore. We don't have a Marvin Jones. We don't have a solidified talent. I mean, like I think St. Brown and
St. Brown looks good.
He could be something, but I don't.
Geronimo Allison, that guy made an appearance, 2 for 17. Tyrell Williams had 2 for 30.
Surprised he's still on the roster, to be honest with you.
Me too.
Because that seems like one of those guys where it's like if you're cleaning out house a little bit, it's like you didn't play a snap.
Yeah.
See you later. I don't know.
This other guy, Jay McKinley, I think he caught Blau's bomb there at the end. He finished with 2 for 40, the long of 35, 2 targets. So
Blauhards were 11 yesterday, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was loving it. Let's switch over to the defense. There's a couple names on the defense that I want to pitch to you.
Well, I wanted to ask you first really quick.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Okudah?
I feel like we didn't see a whole lot.
Yeah.
And they also didn't throw a whole lot.
Yeah.
Like Buffalo only had 2 attempts. Right. So, no strong opinions on the secondary at the moment. I do have one person in mind. This guy, Bobby Price. He showed up. It's Bobby, bitch. He showed up out of nowhere. Again, born in 1998. Yeah, it's Bobby, bitch. He, from what I remember seeing yesterday, he was shown on the Jumbotron quite a bit. I feel like he was all over the field. So I would love to see more of him. I would love to see more of this guy, Anthony Pittman.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know where he came from. They were hiding him on the roster. Apparently, we drafted him back in 2019 or something.
Really?
But he had 4 solo tackles. He is my ideal linebacker. He was going sideline to sideline and making tackles. It was great to see. He needs to be played more. Didn't see any Derek Barnes, which was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
But I think he's battling a minor injury. And this other guy, what's his first name? Kevin Strong, defensive end. He made a great play, I think in the first drive for the Bills yesterday. Shot through the line, got Singletary in the backfield. He made a couple plays. His name was brought up quite a bit too. Would love to see more of him.
Well, on the whole, I mean, I felt like they did a pretty good job of staving off Buffalo for most of the game. They only ended up with 16 points to win the game, and they're a pretty well executed and ran offense, like who are pretty creative. And I feel like that they, even in preseason running vanilla kind of plays, like I think the Lions defense held their own pretty good throughout the whole game. There was never a time where I felt like they absolutely were blowing it. Like there was maybe like a penalty or two that were just kind of dumb, but overall I was impressed, and like especially against good competition, not like chump competition.
Yeah. Julian Akora also made an appearance last night. Got a big sack, I think, on 3rd down. to give us the ball back.
Rocking number 99.
Yes. So that was super nice to see.
Because last year, I think did he even play last year?
No.
It was a healthy scratch for a couple games.
Healthy scratch for a couple games. He hardly ever played last year. So that was nice seeing him. How about Randy Bullock? His long was 28. So he went 3 for 3, but his long was 28. So
it's not that
impressive.
Oh, that's come on.
So good for him. We don't see any woes with that yet.
Well, I kind of was saying it to you yesterday.
Derek Barnes did play. I'm sorry. He had 2 tackles, 1 solo.
I was saying to you off the podcast yesterday that I'm a little worried about the kicking situation when we signed Zane Gonzalez. Like, he's on the roster right now. So
yeah, that's not good. Jack Fox also, 3 punts for 157 yards, 2 inside the 20. His longest was 66. Solid.
The next jersey I'm going to get.
You know what? Their special teams didn't look terrible yesterday, which was kind of reassuring.
It was weird not seeing Jamal Agnew returning.
Yeah, I know. They had a couple...
number 40, I forgot his name.
Leak.
Yeah, Leak.
He had 3 for 73. His longest was 32 yards. Igwebiki.
I don't think you said that right.
No, probably didn't. 1 for 26. He was the one that started it out. So, all around, it was pretty mediocre.
Yeah, I just think it was a little bit vanilla. I just don't think that we saw a whole lot yet. And I think that, I think the defense played well and they held Buffalo off from scoring a bunch of points, and the game was competitive the whole way through. They lost by 1 point. I was pegging this game to be them getting blown out by the Bills because the Bills are an AFC champion caliber team.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's just preseason and it's kind of anyone's game, but overall, I was content with what we saw. I want to see more, especially out of the offense and the running game. Definitely need to see more.
Yeah.
But on the whole, okay. It was a solid showing, I feel like.
Yeah. 5 penalties for 59 yards. That's good. Not bad. Bills had 9 for 112.
Wow. Damn.
They gave up 6 first downs from penalties.
Yeah, I do remember quite a bit of those.
The thing with the Lions, 2 for 2 on 4th downs. The Bills were 2 for 2 on 4th downs. I'm saying for the Lions defense, that's not good. Get off the field. We were 0 for 3 in the red zone. That's terrible. Caused no turnovers. I need to see a turnover. I need to see the defense cause a turnover. That's number 1 right there.
Next week we play Pittsburgh, which is going to be a tough game because they've looked pretty good so far.
They've looked very good so far. Very good. I don't know if the starters plan on playing a whole lot in that one. I'd imagine so. Because
I think we're going to keep seeing Goff at least for a little bit because they have to get him acclimated.
Yeah, I think he might play a half next game, or maybe even 3 quarters.
This whole roster has so many new pieces that I would not be surprised if the starters are playing quite a bit. This preseason.
Because I feel like it's going to go they're treating next game as a dress rehearsal. Goff and the starters will play a lot, and then the third game is when they bench everybody and they really figure out, okay, who are we going to cut, who's staying on the team.
Hopefully we get a little bit of a repeat performance from the trash man, and we really have something special there.
I would love to see Craig Reynolds pop off.
That'd be cool.
It would be very cool. Looking forward to seeing the offense at its full strength. That includes DeAndre Swift and TJ Hawkinson.
I don't think we're seeing that till week 1, though.
It's possible, yeah.
Especially
they're both
Swift.
Dealing with minor injuries, so I wouldn't be shocked if we don't see them. Also would love to see a little bit more of the defense and how that's going to look, because they were missing a lot of people. They were missing, I think, the 2nd round pick, defensive tackle. His name is impossible to pronounce, so I will not do it. And they're also missing Michael Brockers. Who I don't think is dealing with an injury. I think they're just like, you don't need to play.
That's fair.
Yeah. But overall, you know what? It could have been a lot worse.
I have one thing I gotta queue up here before we call it for this recap. We got a couple of recordings of sound bites from Ford Field. Quality on some of them varies, so we're gonna have to do a little
All of
editing
mine
magic
are
there.
terrible.
But I'm gonna put them at this part of the show for your listening pleasure. This was us at Ford Field, week 1 of the preseason against the Buffalo Bills. First time back at Ford Field.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground for a year and a half. So here we go.
Gridiron Zeros podcast. Boots on the ground. We're back. Ford Field, first time in a year and a half. Let's go Lions. First drive, thoroughly unimpressed. Jared Goff looked not good. Gridiron Zeros podcast here. Can we talk about how my glasses were totally fogging up the urinal? Let's talk about it. Gridiron Zeros here. Yin Yang Twins playing at Ford Field right now. Very hype.
It's a great feeling watching live football again. I just wish they were a bit better.
Yeah, Lions defense looking like poo-poo, the second unit. Not looking good, so we'll report back. Gridiron Zeros podcast here. Jared Goff. First 2 drives, he looked okay. Ended up with a field goal in the second drive. Threw a couple accurate passes, not bad. Amon St. Brown definitely looked like the leading receiver. No Hawkinson, so it's kind of hard to tell, but so far, against the Buffalo Bills, who are a pretty good team, not bad. Looked decent.